Okay, I'm sorry, but no. This is a full spoiler review. I'm just gonna go for it because this is like the second time I've been recording this video. Something glitched out with the software, so forgive me if this video is quick and a little bit rambling. I'm gonna try to get this done. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things to talk about in a short amount of time, so here we go. But yeah, this is a spoiler review, so again, if you haven't seen the episode, then click off and come back later. But no, that was not the aerospace engineer. I guarantee it. Now, let me preface this by saying that no, I didn't need the aerospace engineer to be Reed Richards or Sue Storm or Hank Pym even. I didn't need the aerospace engineer to be someone massive in the MCU, but it was never going to be somebody who was just no name in military garb and was just like, oh yeah, hey, here's your truck, here's your battering ram, go for it. Like, no, that was never going to happen. At the very least, the character was going to have a name. Now, I know that this character, I forget her name, and it's not because of disrespect for the actress or the character. I just finished watching the episode a little bit ago. I haven't done any research aside from just recording this video, so forgive me if I don't remember names. But it's not gonna be just a random military person. It just can't be, right? Now again, I was thinking before, okay, it's a little bit interesting that they're setting up the reveal to be in episode 7, right? It's a little bit early, especially because we have 2 more big episodes coming up, right? And you know, Lizzie Olsen's been talking about Luke Skywalker level cameo, and Paul Bettany's like, yeah, there's an actor that I really want to work with. Actor is the key word. And also, you know, I mean, my guy can mean anything, right? Like, it can be a general blanket term, but Monica says my guy, so, you know, a little bit of an illusion that it's a male character. And again, this character, this female character who is the military lead, I don't remember her name, I apologize, but it just doesn't seem like she's the aerospace engineer. Now, I'm a little confused as to why the aerospace engineer wasn't there. Like, Monica was like, hey, good to see you, but she never said, oh, you're the engineer that I was looking for. We've been talking. She just says, good to see you again. And I don't know, maybe there was some text conversation that was missing, but it was a little confusing as to why she was saying, oh yeah, I'm going to meet my aerospace engineer guy, and then she meets some other team. You know, whatever. Maybe they're going to explain it later. But yeah, this is not the aerospace engineer. No disrespect to this character or this actress. I'm sure she's great. She was pretty fine in this episode. But there is going to be something bigger. And it makes sense, right? It makes sense to reveal something in episode 8 or episode 9. Now, going into this episode, I thought this was going to be my favorite episode of the entire series. I love The Office. I don't know if you can tell. I have a couple Office videos on this channel. I'm going to be making a couple more down the line. I adore the show. And everybody has their sitcom that they gravitated towards, whether you're a parent, a grandparent, or a student. Everyone kind of has their thing that they've gravitated toward. And for me, it was The Office. I love The Office. And so when I got to see this episode and see them just recreate the intro, by the way, the piano keys and everything was great. Now, I will say, though, while I thought this episode was going to be my absolute favorite, it wasn't. It wasn't actually my favorite episode. It certainly didn't seem like one of the stronger episodes to me. Maybe that's just me, though. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below. But the parts of the episode that were The Office, where she's talking to the camera, doing talking heads, for those of you who haven't seen The Office, talking heads are where the characters talk directly to the camera. It's supposed to be like a documentary style, they call it mockumentary, and that's part of the charm of the appeal of a show like The Office, or Modern Family, or Parks and Rec. And so, yeah, when Elizabeth Olsen is talking as Wanda to the camera, it was great. I love the way they intercut. It was very faithful to that kind of a show, where they have someone talking and then they cut to something in the background or something like that. And I don't know if you guys caught this. If you haven't seen The Office, or if you have seen The Office, you know Steve Carell as Michael Scott, one of the best characters in television. I think she was channeling a bit of her Michael Scott when she was talking to her kids. She was like, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's going wrong. I have it under control. Like, that's totally, I don't know, maybe I'm just reaching, but that feels like a Michael Scott, Steve Carell-ism to me. Aside from that, though, and aside from the big thing at the end, and also we'll talk about in just a second Monica getting her powers, this episode actually didn't have a lot. It had an interesting little side plot with Darcy and Vision. And honestly, for the first time in this entire show, I kind of felt like it was dragging a little bit. It was stalling just a little bit. Like, Vision at the end, he just poofs out and he disappears, and Darcy's like, oh great, I'll catch up. And I'm like, it kind of felt like, you could have just done that to begin with. Like, Vision could have just grabbed Darcy and flown away, I guess. It just felt like they were stalling a little bit. It was funny. Vision, Paul Bettany, is funny as always, and it was interesting to get to hear Darcy explain his backstory to him. And by the way, side note, in that conversation in the truck where Darcy's like, you guys are great together, like the love is real. Hold up, Darcy. I mean, I get it, they're really cute together and all that sort of stuff, but do you want him to stay in Westview with a crazy Wanda? Like, calm down for just a second. Anyways, that's beside the point. So, yeah, we have the little subplot, and then we have, of course, Monica going through the berry, which, again, By the way, the fact that the truck bounces back gives us room for the aerospace engineer to come back and be like, oh, hey, why didn't this technology work? We gotta fix it, blah, blah, blah. He's gonna come back and he's gonna fix it or whatever. So there's that. But she goes through the barrier and she gets her powers. It's a really cool sequence. The montage where you get to hear the lines from Captain Marvel and from WandaVision. Great. Loved it. And it does seem to be queuing up a big back and forth between her and Wanda. Maybe a fight at the end. Who knows? Because she seems like she can go toe-to-toe with Wanda. It might be her and Vision, Monica and Vision, against Wanda and Agnes or something like that. But also, it kind of seems like Wanda is being, I guess, redeemed by the ending. And we'll talk about that right now because I have some thoughts. Okay, so yeah, I had thought Agatha Harkness for sure. Like, it just, it makes so much sense, right? Agatha Harkness, so I get that. On the one hand, the reveal is fine. Like, we knew it was coming, most of us. I didn't like the really meta way that they did it. Like, Agatha all along, I was like, oh, okay. Like, no need to hammer it over the head. You could have done it in a sitcom style where you have a montage of shots, right? Like, just like the way they did. With the cheesy song playing in the background, though, I was like, okay, we get it. It was Agatha all along. Like, whatever. It gives me pause, though, because it makes me think, well, is it really Agatha all along? It seems to be this way, but they're also really hammering it over the head. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, it was Agnes. And you even saw her messing with Pietro. Like, did she create Pietro out of thin air? Did she create the twins out of thin air? Now, there's a question. Like, Wanda is asking, where are the twins, right? If Agatha is a stand-in for Mephisto, which I think she is, right? I don't think Mephisto is a third party in this. I think it's pretty much just Agnes. So did she just suck the souls out of the kids? Because that's sort of what Mephisto does, right, in the comics. So maybe. But yeah, just seeing what she did to Pietro, it's like, did she create him literally out of thin air? I don't know, but it's an intriguing theory. And again, it's painting Wanda, like, she has this conversation. By the way, some of the writing in this episode was a little bit clunky for me. Maybe that's just totally me, but I thought it was just a little clunky, like when Monica's having the conversation with Wanda, and Wanda's like, I'm the villain. I'm like, okay, calm down for a little bit. Like, we get it. You can be the villain, and you will be the villain, Doctor Strange, probably, but you don't have to say that outright. But yeah, and then Agnes is like, well, hello there, Wanda, I'm Agatha Harkness, and the look on Wanda's face is like genuine fear. So it makes me think that they're trying to redeem this character, right? Like saying, oh, she is the villain, but hey, guess what, it was actually Agnes. So it makes me wonder, how much did Wanda know about Agnes? Because she was pretty comfortable with showing her magic around her. But how much did she actually know? Because Agatha made it look like, oh, hey, you didn't even know I had magic to begin with, which, very well may be the case, but how? Like, Wanda was very comfortable with showing her own magic to Agatha, so I don't know. It does seem like she killed the kids, though, right? Can we agree on that? Or, like, sucked the soul or the magic out of them? I don't know. And from here on out, it seems like a very typical ending, which is, I don't know if it's disappointing or not, but hey, sort of the big curtain has been revealed as Agatha Harkness. Episode 8 is probably going to be a flashback. Episode 9, Vision, Monica, all against this Agatha Harkness. And Wanda is a wild card. Is she going to fight with Vision? Is she going to fight against Vision? Who knows? Again, biggest takeaway for me, that was not the aerospace engineer. You cannot convince me otherwise right now. There is no way that Kevin Feige made that the aerospace engineer. It's going to be somebody different. You watch. Paul Bettany said actor. So even if that wasn't the if that was the aerospace engineer, there's going to be something bigger coming. So I'm not particularly worried. Was I a little disappointed? Yes, but also I'm only going to be disappointed if that ends up being the aerospace engineer. If they're going to save it for later, totally fine. Yep, okay, this is what I get for recording right after I finish the episode and not having any post-credit scenes before in any other episode, but there is a credit scene. And, okay, well, it doesn't necessarily debunk anything that I talked about in the video proper, but it's interesting because I was wondering, was Evan Peters just there for 2 episodes? But no, he's still there. What was he doing? Okay, is it just Agatha Harkness? Is that a misdirect in itself? Is he Mephisto? Because at first I was like, okay, so this confirms that she's the only one doing it, Agatha Harkness. He's still here. Who is he? That's a really interesting credit scene, and I can't wait to have that explored next episode. Okay, back to the video. So those are my quick thoughts on episode 8 of WandaVision. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. If you want to check out some more videos, check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.